Hey, it's your boy King Cold, and you're listening to Uncovering the Underground with your host Skippy Ickham, right here on Spreaker Podcast Radio, the show that brings you nothing but underground music.
I might have a drinking problem. You know. Cause I ain't got a problem drinking. You know. Man, I got a lot of problems. These drinks keeping me from overthinking. So let's just roll one up, pour a shot. Fuck it, let's get fried. Let's roll one up, pour a shot. I'm drunken out my mind. I got a drinking problem. I ain't got a problem drinking. Let's go. Means I got a drinking problem.
Problems in my life away, fade to gray. Let the ego turn into a monster, cause I'm temporary. Told my baby mama I was slowing down. But I bought the entire bar another round. Keep the party jumping till the AM. I come through slaying. Soldier checker do like Walter Payton. Fuck this dude and his 9 friends. Call this shit a strike when I knock down 10 pins. Y'all ain't even that dope at all. I'm here for the easy women and the hard alcohol. Shit turned into an all-out brawl. Swinging pool cues like Monday Night Raw. I'm just trying to get these beers thrown back. Then maybe chase the Kraken with a little bit of jack. Roll me a blunt and eat a few snacks. What's so damn offensive about that?
I might have a drinking problem. You know. Cause I ain't got a problem drinking. You know. Man, I got a lot of problems. These drinks keeping me from overthinking. So let's just roll one up, pour a shot. Fuck it, let's get fried. Let's roll one up, pour a shot. I'm drunken out my mind. I got a drinking problem. I ain't got a problem drinking. Let's go. Means I got a drinking problem. Get it, let me get it back. I might take a shot of tequila and mix it with the jack. Everybody know we from that drinking generation. Get my middle fingers up, cause I know my liver hate me. I might shoot a shot glass and wash it with some gasoline. Swallow a ball of fire, ain't nobody bad as me. While I'm posted in the back, blowing on some tangerine. And my bitch's bad, her ass is jumping like a trampoline. I'm a bar hopper, baby. We call that honky talking. From the south, where we say a lot, but don't do lots of talking. Yeah, I got a lot of problems, so I got some empty bottles. The falling feels like flying till we finally hit the bottom. I might have a drinking problem. You know. Cause I ain't got a problem drinking. You know. Man, I got a lot of problems. These drinks keeping me from overthinking. So let's just roll one up, pour a shot. Fuck it, let's get fried. Let's roll one up, pour a shot. I'm drunken out my mind. I got a drinking problem. I ain't got a problem drinking. Let's go.
I make my girlfriend nervous. Babe, please, I'm hardly swerving. Listen, dog, I'm probably smoking in that styrofoam for certain. Pour a shot of Jack Daniels. Now that whiskey got me lurking. I've been swimming in this Jack. I'm about to die right in the cervix. Give me 2 jump beans. I need a Sprite for the air. Been smoking reefers where my beat sounded fine. Let me hit that yak. Been drinking Douce. Don't you play? Who got them perks? Them 7.5s. I mean, probably 3 them 10s to get me surfing. Some peeking through the curtains. About to crash without it swerving. Y'all can hit my line be 5 p.m. before I surface. Shout out to all my drinkers. What's up to all my losers? If you need me, I'm with jelly. I hit therapeutic boozing.
I might have a drinking problem. You know. Cause I ain't got a problem drinking. You know. Man, I got a lot of problems. These drinks keeping me from overthinking. So let's just roll one up, pour a shot. Fuck it, let's get fried. Let's roll one up, pour a shot. I'm drunken out my mind. I got a drinking problem. I ain't got a problem drinking. Let's go. Means I got a drinking problem.
Do you want the bold or the weed, the coke or the weed, the dope or the speed? Do you wanna fly, wanna flow through the trees? Either go into sleep or I'm roaming the streets. Everything's so cold, I just don't believe it. And everything is hopeless and so diseased. I thrive in the belly of a broken beast. I might go for your throat when you go to sleep. Yeah. How you gonna scheme when you set a fire? And how you gonna see me when you're out of eyes? I got information, I'm taking it to the afterlife. Revolution televised, memoirs classified. But the feast is open, and when I'm showing teeth, better speak a code. And you can die in your sleep when the mirror's broken. Staring back at our face, the soul, man, let's go then. Grab 'em out, grab 'em out, grab 'em out, spit it out. Grab 'em out, grab 'em out, grab 'em out, spit it out. I've been doing it a minute, I know I needed the energy I could get in my zone. I am true to see, full of a Judas Priest. Holler at me when you find my soul. Pull the 32, I ain't missing the free throw. Still carrying the heat, I could easily reach for. Everybody shut their mouth, everybody eat more. Shit, look at all my shit that I got no receipts for. I don't chase fame, bitch, I never chase hoes. Always in the same race, hunting down the pesos. When they took a straight razor to my dang torso. Almost didn't make it out, that they paid for. Swallowing the vodka and eating the acetaminophen. Whiskey in the wound and I'm biting on my wallet now. I've been going volatile, everybody dead again. I just wanna kill them all, more than just a falling out. I'ma get them with something. See, when I settle in to hold a grudge, I forget nothing. When I'm done, just remember one thing. Everybody go to hell, that's a bell you couldn't unring. Grab 'em out, grab 'em out, grab 'em out, spit it out. Grab 'em out, grab 'em out, grab 'em out, spit it out. I've been doing it a minute, I know I needed the energy I could get in my zone. I am true to see, full of a Judas Priest. Holler at me when you find my soul. I've been doing it a minute, I know I needed the energy I could get in my zone. I am true to see, full of a Judas Priest. Holler at me when you find my soul.
Tried to pull the wool over my eyes so I could not see that you a wolf in disguise, merely playing a sheep. All you ever did was lie so petty and cheap that you could suck a dick and die, wouldn't lose no sleep because you're marked for death, no time for rest. Till my hands around your throat and there is no more breath. Take this big buck knife to the side of your chest. I enter brutal business, logo deep into your flesh. Ain't got time for fake friends, only got time for pouring my heart and passion into this ink pen. Cause I write bars, blow minds, create trends, make ends. Every now and then I gotta break, man. Motherfucker, I'm a hip-hop beast and you a hip-hop nothing cause your hip-hop ceased. You try to pick it up again, then I guess we'll see. How quickly I could destroy you, dismantle your dream. This man right here was a part of my team, therefore was in store for a part of the scheme. To build it up, ill as fuck. Everyone around be feeling us, what? But you had to fuck it up now, didn't you? Chance of a lifetime, I bet that's hitting you. I guess you thought that I'd never get rid of you. Come around me, you know, really be hitting you.
I don't care for being hated, I don't wanna be the best. I got these demons coming out of me that's waiting for my chest. I'll never claim to be the greatest, but I'll tell you that I'm stressed. So get the fuck away from me before I snap and make you dead. Okay, now fuck a fake, rap a brutal business till we die. Got that chain around our necks, middle fingers in the sky. We never hate or perpetrate, don't save no face, we fierce inside. Fuck a fake friend with this ink, pen will take your life.
Once I knew a homie, now he's doing time. Fuck a white beater, I brought you both together. Now she's calling me up every night like it's my fault, like music is proof. Blaming intrusion like it was a ruse. Threatening my work and cutting my job on being a butcher is something I do. Fuck, who you gon' stand by? An artist or someone who damn lies. We talk about the past a couple times, but still this bitch wanna go and try to ruin me, frontin' some punk shit like I don't got ammo stacked up. I know you shelling, your art ain't selling. You target the ones that have came up. Instead, gonna find yourself in a hard place when I I blow up quick, it's so good. You could buy my hits, then slit your wrists like I thought you would. You can see me smile when you hear this. I ain't held no punches once, so when you aim at my direction, know I live this life you could.
Never care for being hated, I don't wanna be the best. I got these demons coming out of me that's waiting for my chest. I'll never claim to be the greatest, but I'll tell you that I'm stressed, so get the fuck away from me before I snap and make you dead. Okay, now fuck a big rapper, brutal business till we die. Got that chain around our necks, middle fingers in the sky. We never hate or perpetrate, don't save no face, we fierce inside. Fuck a fake friend with this ink, pen will take your life.
Seems like nowadays stuck in a rage, picking apart the enemy sitting up on my plate. Brain full of hate, but they say it's okay. I don't wanna hear nothing, just leave me to A. Fuck with the team, you'll get punched in a cheek. Lay you out, chop you up in a lunch for my meat. Turn a beast when I feast, got stuck in my teeth. Bitch, I'm going to hell and you coming with me. Should've never really had to be like that, but someone had to be a little B like that. You a snitch, suck a dick at energy type rats. How the hell you wanna grab me but never know how to act? Hope you little niggas is watching your back. With a knife in my hand, I won't leave you intact. Brain in your lap when the gun it go clap. I was deep in your chicken, was loving the cat. Stupidest motherfucker for thinking that I would never stop. But I'm about to go ballistic and shit on niggas for hella props. My lyrics getting thick as a bitch and I get the feeling I'm killing. I'm about the millions and really I'm about to let it stop. So sick of this shit, better keep it solo dolo when you rid of my brains. Ain't nobody understood me of the shit that I was in. I be hitting the opposition, the enemy with my pen like fuck you.
You were born in this. Hold everyone in your darkest hour. We pushed in the soul. Heard no faith above. Your only longing was to escape this unjustified crucial lullaby. Sign your soul to sleep. Lost reward history. Instead of this tragedy. Lost reward history. Instead of this tragedy.
Wait, let's change just today. Wait, got to go window. Wait, let's change just today. Wait, got to go window.
Some more reasons why to live or to die. Checked, way down the unknown. You couldn't escape the beast. You long inside the beast. The world just couldn't give you. This is justified. Crucial lullaby. Song your soul to sleep. Let's rewrite history. Instead of this tragedy. Let's rewrite history. Instead of this tragedy.
Wait, let's change just today.
doesn't live in the underground. Hip-hop doesn't live in the mainstream. Hip-hop lives in ourselves, and we are the ones who gotta do the saving. Hip-hop deserves to be held up. Hip-hop has certainly saved me. Hip-hop used to be so gassed up. Now hip-hop is full of fake beans. I know I ain't alone when I say hip-hop's in danger. What happened to the art, the big clocks and gangsters? Now we got a culture full of rip-offs and fakers. Something went wrong, we must have pissed off the angels, cause it ain't being looked after. But we gotta take responsibility, because we're to blame. We buying the trends and tuning to radio stations, and I swear everything that I hear is the same. Check online for that hip-hop news, and I swear that I'm peering through a mirror maze. If it keeps getting worse, it'll take years to change. I'm telling you, it has to get here today, before it surpasses something it can't get back from. Fuck black and white, we gotta look past the panda. Bring back the canvas and paint pictures with the words. We don't need a flashing camera, we just need to stand together and find the peace that's been broke off. Redefine the speech, mumbling is nothing but trouble. I know hip-hop would, but I won't let it die for me. One you never heard of, I pushed it hard to further the grind. I feel like murder, but hip-hop has saved me, so I must return the favor. I know that you're in danger, you're my savior, but this time hip-hop needs saving. One you never heard of, I pushed it hard to further the grind. I feel like murder, but hip-hop has saved me, so I must return the favor. I know that you're in danger, you're my savior, but this time you were there for me, so I'll be there for you in this time of need. When people ask me what I love, I say you, excitedly. I'm a rapper and I don't need to hide my sleeves. I'll yell it proudly until I'm deceased. You can put holes through my hands and feet, prop me up on a cross and I'll still rhyme with these. Cause if no one shed a tear, I know hip-hop would cry for me. People come and people go, but hip-hop will never abandon me. Shout out to my exes and orphans who could never handle me. Got used to people stabbing me, my back cannot be damaged any more than it already has been. And guess who bandaged me? Hip-hop. And even if the world is mad at me, hip-hop will always be there to laugh with me. I know I ain't perfect, but perfection is a fantasy, and it seems like hip-hop is the only one who is understanding me. I can't put into words how much I appreciate everything you've done for me and what you helped me create, but I can't stand by while these others deviate from your roots. But I promise everything will be okay, just give me your trust and I'll take all the trash. Make them take the jokes back that they make about rap. Eliminate all the jokes that came about rap. But to all you whack rappers had to say about that, nothing, so keep your mouth shut. Strong relationships revolve around trust, so let's round up the liars and ship them away. Get rid of the fakes, hip-hop ain't slipping away as long as I'm in charge of self-preservation. And I'm intact, biblical verses, but no Bible rap. And if this were to be my final act, I'd sacrifice my life cause I would die for rap.
Benjis, Franklins, Jacksons, cha-ching. Benjis, Franklins, Jacksons, cha-ching. Cause I'm scheming on that big money, scheming on that big money, scheming on that big money, scheming on that big money. Roll the dice, roll the dice, roll the dice. Cha-ching, yeah. Scheming on that big money, scheming on that big money, scheming on that big money. Benjis, Jacksons, Franklin's, cha-ching. Talking about some money, but ain't got a damn thing. I'm really after this Skrilla, you just an actor, nigga. Multiple millions, they in my future. Yes, I got a geisha, I call it Kama Sutra. That long bread, call it Arab money. Yeah. You either get you a hustle or use a fucking dummy. I'm on that clean shit while you dirty and bummy. I'm dressed in black, looking for them greenbacks. Hustle for scratch, nigga, yeah, I mean that. I got my Louisville slugger, I swing a mean back. Briefcase and stuff for hundreds, hey yo, I need that. Benjis, Franklins, Jacksons, cha-ching. Benjis, Franklins, Jacksons, cha-ching. Cause I'm scheming on that big money, scheming on that big money, scheming on that big money, scheming on that big money. Roll the dice, roll the dice, roll the dice, cha-ching. Scheming on that big money, scheming on that big money, scheming on that big money, cha-ching. Yeah, LB, boss. Golden Benz truck. Yep. Rockin' the rolly, grown man shit smooth as fuck. Fly. Cheddar boy, what the fuck you speaking? What? Broke is a foreign language. I ain't talking Puerto Rican. Hable English. What? Hable dinero. Fucking with Poppy, they call that nigga the big sombrero. I roll the dice, never roll snake eyes. My third eye open for all you snake guys. Get it from the muscle, never needed to whip pies. Nope, different kind of hustle, corporate money legalized. Yep. The pressure's on me like diamonds coming from coal mines. Every coin of currency, yeah, I need all mine. Benjis, Franklin's, Jackson's, cha-ching. Benjis, Franklin's, Jackson's, cha-ching. Cause I'm scheming on that big money, scheming on that big money, scheming on that big money, scheming on that big money. Roll the dice, roll the dice, roll the dice, cha-ching. Scheming on that big money, scheming on that big money, scheming on that big money, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Hey, what up, Lokesters? This is Loke Saint. You're listening to Uncovering the Underground with my man Skippy Ickham on Spreaker Podcast Radio, bringing you nothing but the best in underground music.
Dramatica. It's like you've been through so much motherfucking trauma, so much pain. You have a different way of looking at the world. You have a different way of looking at situations, people around you, etc. You feel me? Dramatica.
Make a motherfucker's brains about to bust. If you really wanna get down with us, then you better turn up and adjust. I'm about to make your brains gain more juice. Traumatized by the straight slings I use. I'm arrived with the side that always straight pain for the truth, yeah. Every verse I spit gets lit when the trigger tongue bumps the gums, the brains ring. Spray slang like a razor blade splits the skin, blood spits while I'm letting the veins hang. I'ma give it the feeling of what it's like living up inside of my body will bang bang. All the trauma, the money, you wanna be a gunner, but ain't nobody wanna give him a dang thing. Make a motherfucker's brain bout to bust the ass and dust and trust in us. We know the real trauma. You don't never really wanna come up on a real drama. I'm an automatic addict, a fanatical radical with my head unraveled in a Britannica on a supernatural encyclopedia sabbatical. Out of erotic animal, cannibal, robotic, mechanical. Trauma stays in your soul, and I can't shake it. Trauma, it takes its toll, and I can't seem to fake it. Dramatica. Make a motherfucker's brains bout to bust. If you really wanna get down with us, then you better turn up and adjust. I'm about to make your brains gain more juice. Traumatized by the straight slings I use. I'm arrived with the side that always straight pain for the truth, yeah. Dramatica. Make a motherfucker's brains bout to bust. If you really wanna get down with us, then you better turn up and adjust. I'm about to make your brains gain more juice. Traumatized by the straight slings I use. I'm arrived with the side that always straight pain for the truth, yeah.
Beating the regular rim, I get in the head of myself. I was at the hustle, let me homie, no begging for help. And everything I wanted in my life, I done got it myself. I'm trying to survive in the depths of hell. My record of rough environment is spotted and never fail. Thinking of doubling up on the ground, I'm striving to get my mail. If anybody wanna try me, they find a way up an ill. If they run up, I'm shipping the scale, making a hell of a come up. But still, I wish I could finally get bucks to bust some of these ill rhymes. Let my skill shine, still trying to get away. Gotta struggle to get my numbers up. Roll up a J, get my lungs a puff. I'm feeling paranoid, living in a clusterfuck. But I'm preparing for whatever made a promise. The family that I lost to either jail or the gun, I give them bail. Every song, I'm kinda hard to prevail. So my prayers to the man up above us. Forgive me, cause I'm living in sin. Got the feeling that me and the villains probably similar kin. Slowly sinking in the abyss. I just repent with a pen. Look at my life, it's like a drama from beginning to end. Instead of giving in, I'ma put a foot on the neck. Fuck a rook on my vet. Play them like a rook on the chessboard. Just for it to be a way to look at the chick. I hear your walking with population, nobody can tell I'm a super villain. My true incentive is selling my units, the new edition, and never ride on the wave when nobody got do it different. The life we live in is real and no gimmick or superstition. If only they knew the vision, I'm trying to get through the trenches and put your life on the line for the ride was my decision. The reason I think I did it was flipping when I get the feeling of this.
Dramatica. Make a motherfucker's brains bout to bust. If you really wanna get down with us, then you better turn up and adjust. I'm about to make your brains gain more juice. Traumatized by the strange slings I use. I'm arrived with the side that always straight pain for the truth, yeah. Dramatica. Make a motherfucker's brains bout to bust. If you really wanna get down with us, then you better turn up and adjust. I'm about to make your brains gain more juice. Traumatized by the strange slings I use. I'm arrived with the side that always straight pain for the truth, yeah. Dramatica. Brains bout to make a motherfucker's brains bound to bust. If you really wanna get down with us, then you better turn up and adjust. I'm about to make your brains gain more juice. Traumatized by the straight slings I use. I'm a ride with the side that don't always straight paint for the truth. Yeah, I'm sorry to come. Make a motherfucker's brains bound to bust. If you really wanna get down with us, then you better turn up and adjust. I'm about to make your brains gain more juice. Traumatized by the straight slings I use. I'm a ride with the side that don't always straight paint for the truth. Yeah.
Example.
Fantasy life. Some will listen, some won't, but that's just how it goes. I'ma tell you once, stop just stuffing your nose. I don't want none of that, I'm trying to give you facts. I'm just coming through spitting that shit, so relax. It's gonna be a ride, so buckle your seatbelt. I'm here for all the people that need help. Always looking for the hand, but they don't understand it won't be dealt. I'm on a different level, another degree now. So when I get up on stage, they pull their seats out, but they don't sit, cause the shit that I spit is so real. Motherfuckers know the deal, coming straight up out the motherfucking city of steel. Never yield, on third base by that steel, and I'm still learning and earning, coming through in the burner, on a fat ass blunt for my brother in an urn. And that's just how it goes. I should have sung with that. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. October 1st, I'm coming to get ya. I'm coming through spitting this shit, I'm switching the scripture. I don't give a fuck in the cut, rolling up something so fat, better take another nap. And that's just how it goes, but I ain't playing. Horse stance got me yelling, about to go saying. These motherfuckers mumbling, oh, what are they saying? Writing fairy tales, Jack in jail. I'm the last up on the hill, take another pill, bet you will. Hold the steering wheel, hit the 3-wheel, turn the car into a trike. I can do this shit all night, that's right, that's life. My man in the back, that's Ife. Everything is alright, holding it down, taking the crown. Been at this shit for a while now, but my mind got bolder. Brush off my shoulders, show you exactly how to do it. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes.
Yeah. Let's go. Hot and heated music. Yeah. 2018. My name is Illa. Yeah. Yo. I came, I saw, cracked his motherfucking toe. Fucking with a man on a mission, 100-foot tall. Better believe I got a trick under my sleeve. Hell of a fly me, an appetite to achieve. I'm a hustler, I ain't no buster. I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a night crawler, got juice by the ton. Dead, no prisoner, shit, I shit. My business, my motto. No time for these soft searching lives. Never had nothing, but I came from something. And I'm grinding and grinding, I never fell behind. Never was blinded by the hypocrisy to close mind. So I scream to the world, fuck it, I'm all in. Hold my chips in the middle, only one way now. That's the answer to the riddle. Said I wouldn't be shit, told him I would never quit. Soldier of the elimination of radio fake shit, I'm all in. Hold my chips in the middle, only one way now. That's the answer to the riddle. Said I wouldn't be shit, told him I would never quit. Soldier of the elimination of radio fake shit. Where we going? What? Where are we going? What happened to the music that was slapping? I don't be known. Times have changed up, lineups have named up. Internet rappers famed up, not even recognizable. I often wonder if they're even realizable. Internet took over, there it went. The status quo, labels got pissed. Foregoes the monopoly. Independence was granted, now nobody's stopping me. Formed the committee and I brought it to your city. Rampage, tall buildings, brings out the best in me. Never slow down, no surrender, no retreat. I'ma take over this motherfucker on my own 2 feet. I'm all in. gypsy in the middle, only one way now. That's the answer to the riddle. Said I wouldn't be shit, told him I would never quit. Soldier of the elimination of radio fake shit. I'm all in. Hold my gypsy in the middle, only one way now. That's the answer to the riddle. Said I wouldn't be shit, told him I would never quit. Soldier of the elimination of radio fake shit. Hiding hidden music, that's how we use it. Yeah, no, I understand the world. Twist around the dollar, either you a bitch or you a hungry Rottweiler. On this side of the fence, we ain't pussies. We ain't dealing with Girl Scout cookies. Tired of you mumbling rookies. I remember back when it was relevant. Now I'm just spit these bars just for the hell of it. Let the truth be told, I will never ever fold. Rain sleeveless, no shit, just leave me in the cold. I'm all in, hold my chips in the middle. Only one way now, that's the answer to the riddle. Said I wouldn't be shit, told him I would never quit. Soldier of the elimination of radio fake shit. I'm all in, hold my chips in the middle. Only one way now, that's the answer to the riddle. Said I wouldn't be shit, told him I would never quit. Soldier of the elimination of radio fake shit.
I see a couple of demons. Tells me Satan wants my fucking allegiance. Had to check if my heart was still beating. Blood on the floor, mixed in puddles of semen. Fingerprints, so I grabbed the skull, ripping its head in two from the mandible. My reactions are more of an animal's, a fanatic for the savage and the graphical. Stand up in the room dissolves. Street glow in the color of luminol. Hooded fingers telling me I need to move along. A trail leads me to a hospital room at dawn. See myself as an infant child. Lucifer walks in with a wicked smile. Hands me a blade, says it's time to reconcile. Now remove his fucking heart, put it in this file.
Into the madness, my dreams are coming alive. What is real or fake? It's really hard to decide. Into the madness, my mind is ready to die. It's only bad nightmares to you, but this is my real life.
Thought I was just thought for attention. Then I saw the devil's horns in my reflection. Animals get anxiety attacks when I'm present. Can't talk to anyone, they won't get it. Feel the walls whisper his thoughts to me. So we talk back and forth, arguing, trying to convince me that it's all a dream. In the slip my neighbor's throats as they fall asleep. Got to admit, murder can be thrilling. Believe I collect souls to each one that I'm killing. Feel like I'm Satan with a pitchfork and ceiling. Set forth to cleanse a world of souls from your children. You hear that? Seize back. That's why I think like that. Only see in black. Demons laugh. Devil's giving me a task. Says you're deaf. I release you to your path.
Into the madness, my dreams are coming alive. What is real or fake? It's really hard to decide. Into the madness, my mind is ready to die. It's only bad nightmares to you, but this is my real life. Into the madness, 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 into the madness.
Yo, what's good, what's good? It's your girl Jade the Nightmare. You're listening to Uncovering the Underground with my man Skippy Ed on my Spreaker Podcast Radio Show, bringing you nothing but underground music.
I am the masochist. Force you blood will taste like this. Black nails pointing to cut your wrist. Hate me now, big later when you're on my list. I am the masochist. Force you blood will taste like this. Black nails pointing to cut your wrist. Hate me now, big later you're on my list. They think that you can hide when I die. You just sit good by my eyes. Don't drive. I'm a sacrifice to get better. I'm alive. Hey, you look so blue. I'm saying it with the skeleton do it too. Oh no, drop to the toe. Picture comes at your toes. Look up. Get it right. You do not know what's next. Hold your breath. Homicide, mental, no soul is left. I am the masochist. Force you blood will taste like this. Black nails pointing to cut your wrist. Hate me now, big later when you're on my list. I am the masochist. Force you blood will taste like this. Black nails pointing to cut your wrist. Hate me now, big later you're on my list. With no tongue, I know you hate me. Please don't lie. So much rage, get out of my face. I will revenge before I decay. And my mind thoughts so dark. Grab my mental, I'm insane. I'm never gentle. Love is after I die, but everyone was silent when I was alive. You see, get out of my head. What's yelling at me? Just let me be free, please. Can't get away. Watch my life fight too gray. Can't sleep anyway. Pills keep my mind awake. So please get the demons away. Oh, I'm in this way. Yo, woke up in a place. Now got black on my face. Darkness, hell is in my grave. Exactly this way. Sometimes when if I die, will the afterlife bring me to grace? No, shut down the show. When I'm dead, I hope that my music will blow. Blood look on my flow. Dead face, how the winds flow. Sometimes I question if I'm alive anymore. Come close and hear me. Bulletproof rise, you love high speeds. Don't come near my. I am the masochist. You blood will taste like this. Black nails pointing to cut your wrist. Hate me now, big later when you're on my list. I am the masochist. You blood will taste like this. Black nails pointing to cut your wrist. Hate me now, big later you're on my list.
Yeah. Oh. Laying on my bed, looking at the sky, contemplating why I'm feeling like I'd rather die. If there's any reason that I found to stay within this life, it's gotta be my daughter. Gotta never leave a fucking side. Word is born. I go to war for her and all that. This is real, this is nothing that you all rap. If you touch it, then I guarantee it's all bad. Cause I snap back, so I ain't talking about a ball cap. Fucker, y'all just suckers and I'm harboring souls. My approach is the same as Dr. Marvin Monroe. Sharp therapy and swearing we are not even close. David Carradine couldn't hang if I showed in the pros. Got a bitch that's insane, so she got my vote. Similar to these, that's the way she got on the pole. Drinking liquor like it's water and I'm out of control. The Mona Lisa wouldn't smile if she looked at my soul.
Feeling like there's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. I can't be killed. There's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. You'll never kill me.
But I'm feeling like I'm guilty. No rest is the best that I will be. I got demons that progress while I'm welting. So my death will invest in it well-being. No stress, I'll impress if it kills me. Chop the screw, that's the style that I will bring. Homicidal necrophilia, so feel me, bitch. Cause I'm fucking killing the way you ever rebelled. And after going against me, no defense, you can see what's still it. And you know it can't be understand that you proceed to jealous. But you won't offend me, no, not any rapper has a skeleton taste. So they break fast like cheating during Ramadan. When I perform my book, magic like the Necronomicon. Ripping at the flows, yes, you know that it goes on and on. Kevin Gates on stage, I kick it for the audio.
Feeling like there's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. I can't be killed.
But I'm feeling like I'm at the point. I'll either snap, go crazy, or mass destroy. This ain't a sham, so don't blame if I act annoyed. If you question what I rap and try to match the source, trying to get spins like breakers on harbor floors. It's hard when you couldn't write a check for sliding doors. You can see I get spins like a laundromat. I believe I'm sicker than a hypochondriac. Yeah, your bitch clean and I'm calling it good. Pints all on my balls cause she polished the wood. Think I could if I want, but it's misunderstood. Leave blood on the walls like recording with shook. I'm depressed to the point that I can't just chill or relax, but goddamn it, I need beef in my life cause I'm famished. Plus I came to purge like bulimous after smashing on a full stomach. But I swear the answer is I'm a bad egg like ovarian cancer. Frankenstein on a beat, race creating a master. Remix beautiful people like Marilyn Manson. It's alive when I'm screaming while I'm tearing up these raps. And I'm flashing bitches like Barry Allen in the sack. And I got your bitch nude, hippie hugging my tree trunk. For you should be a little like a fucking Ewok.
Feeling like there's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. I can't be killed. There's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. You'll never kill me.
song will grumble like I'm dumbing it down. When I get to the top, I get bubble like you're loving them now. I see the way they look at me every time. Like I ain't nothing, like I ain't worth a dime. But I got something that they ain't never seen. When I bring that to the masses, they gon' see what I mean. Hold up, check this shit out. I be whipping through the shadows at night in a bucket, causing ruckus, doing the unlucky fuckers in my way. When the night is mine, you're Taurus when the moon is shining. You dine a low light, and now you never gonna see another day. The land I come from is done with pine trees. They will never find me, though we smoke a light. Journey into the mission, you will die like a bitch. Say right to the shit, bro, right when it hit. Have you seen the motherfuckers and well, they still ripping so smooth. When I'm in my groove, watch I do the murder your crew. I'm here, like Quasimodo. Mine is the hunchback, raised in a dark cage, and only a lot of tough scraps. Let me the monkey for whether it be the money you're reading, the random junkie, you bitches that have found my tummy. I'm the funky motherfucker that's spreading across the country. If you try anything funny, I'm leaving this bitch bloody top. I see the way they look at me every time. Like I ain't nothing, like I ain't worth a dime. But I got something that they ain't never seen. When I bring that to the masses, they gon' see what I mean. Well, I'm a freak, baby.
Everything is dark around me. I'm lost in the deep end, trying hard to swim, but I sink. Nowadays the shadows follow, and I cannot get away from the hate, away from the pain, and everything in between. So I drink. Hey, I don't understand why they tossing me roses. The last thing I remember was calling your phone. Ay. Then I woke up in the pool of darkness. I've been talking to spirits, I wanna come home. Where were you when I needed you? Why did you have to let go? I'm sorry if I mistreated you. It made you feel so low. I'm dark and I'm cold, I'm terrified. This place ain't give me no peace of mind. Didn't even get to look in your eyes and say goodbye for a while. Ended it all. Place isn't home. Now I'm all alone. And what about myself in the darkness? And why did you let me pull it? Told me go ahead, do it. Acted like we were just bullshit. All along you were consuming my soul like you was Shang Tsung. And I don't know where you came from. Don't know where you came from. But I'm done, said I'm done. The darkness, it ate me alive. And I let it all take control. You all watched the bitch eat me alive. When I cried, you locked all your doors. I called for help, you ignored it. 2 a.m. in the morning, you silenced your phone. So how does it feel now I'm not coming home? Send me over black roses, coins for the ride. It's so hard to stay alive when you dead inside. All that I wanted was some peace of mind, but this place ain't home, there's no peace inside. I said all that I wanted was some peace of mind, but this place ain't home, there's no peace inside. Cause everything is dark around me. I'm lost in the deep end, trying hard to swim, but I sink. And nowadays the shadows follow, and I cannot get away.
Of loving cloud, the end of the world, to make until the
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Uncovering the Underground Radio Podcast Show. As always, I'm your host, Skippy Ickham of Brutal Business Entertainment, and I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. Whether you are listening live or streaming this after the fact, I ask you click the like, share, and follow buttons on whatever platform that you're listening to us on. The more that you do that, the more that moves us up the podcast community rankings, and the more people that discover the show. We do bring you the show each and every Thursday night, 8 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 8 to 9 is an uninterrupted underground music hour, followed by an hour and a half of in-depth conversations, topics and discussions, and an interview with great personalities in the underground. We do bring you our show on all online platforms out there, from iTunes and iHeartRadio to Spotify, Google Play, Deezer, Spreaker, CastBox. If you name it, we are on it. So feel free to listen to us wherever you feel most comfortable. But please note that if you want to interact with us during our live shows, leave feedback, comments, or even ask our guest questions, you have to do that through the Spreaker app or the Spreaker.com page. They are our hosting platform, and that is Spreaker. And like I said, it'll allow you to interact with the show, and we love whenever you do that. We have a bunch of people tuning in right now and leaving comments as we speak, so feel free to join the party. We do want to thank our sponsors, Tattooed Scumbag Apparel and TattooedScumbag.com. If you use promo code BBE10 when purchasing your order, you do get 10% off of the overall order. And again, that's BBE10 for 10% off your order. They make everything from hoodies, hats, sweatpants, shirts, beanies, socks, you name it, they make it. I wear it on stage because they are one of my sponsors and I love their gear. I wear it at home when I'm lounging around, and I wear it outside when I'm out doing my errands. So it's kind of a testament of how good and how dependable their clothing, certainly is. And if you're a tattooed scumbag like me, you'll love it. So make sure you check them out. Check out Legion Artwork, 5 Milligram Artwork, R3 Graphics, and Roush Designs for all the work that they do for Brutal Business and myself. And if you're looking to keep track of all things Brutal Business, everything we got coming up from the modeling side, music side, radio, horror reviews, wrestling, video games, and more, make sure you do that at teambrutalbusiness.com. That'll keep you in touch with absolutely everything that we're doing. So we do have a guest tonight that certainly needs no introduction, but we're going to give him one anyways. We got D.E.A.N on the line, Destiny Everything and Nothing. And D.E.A.N is the owner of Bonesaw Entertainment and the creator of the film and comic book series Strange Tales of Autumndale. In the year since he's rebranded, he has done the Shadow of Death tour with Razakel and Luna 13 and is constantly trying to grow his stage show. And he currently has 2 full-length films and a short film out on YouTube that you can check out and make sure you do, as well as all his albums. He's constantly got his hands in a lot of different things, putting out a lot of great content, and we certainly are happy to have him back on the show. You might remember listening to him early portion of 2019. He was on the show, and we wanted to bring him back on to see what he did in that other portion of 2019 and what he's got planned for you in 2020. Hear you echoing a little bit out there, bro. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not because it is a little getting some feedback. But if you can hear me, what's up, homie? How you doing?
Good, man. Good. What's up? Is that a little bit better for you?
That's a little bit better, brother. I wasn't sure if I lost you or not, so I'm glad to hear that you're still on the line. How you been?
Oh, pretty good, man. Taking one to the chin every now and then, but still standing.
Absolutely, you certainly are. For the folks out there that don't know, we were originally supposed to air this on our normal night of Thursday last week, and we end up having to bring it to you tonight on a Sunday because D.E.A.N got off of work, got home, and his house had flooded. And this motherfucker was he's so dedicated to his craft that he was still trying to work out a time and a way of doing the show that night. He's like, hold on, let me check this out. You still want to do the show? And I'm like, no, man, you need to focus on your house. So that just shows you how passionate he is about his work and how dedicated. And that says a lot because there's a lot of people that would drop off for much less. And I like it when I see someone that has that much passion for their craft.
Man, that's what I do. It's, if I didn't have my wife and my art, that's pretty much the 2 things that keep me going. So any chance, I get to get on somebody else's platform and bring my art to other people, even no matter what I'm going through, I'll still try, you know.
You certainly do, man, and I appreciate that. But I'm glad we could get it rescheduled. You could get that taken care of. We were kind of talking a little bit before the show, about that flood. Or it might have been in the last couple of days about how much of a pain in the ass is when that happens, because your house and my house have both flooded before. And if you haven't experienced it, folks, it sucks. So count yourself lucky. But you got everything taken care of, and you're good to go?
Oh, yeah, man. It's nothing that a shop vac and about 40 towels couldn't handle.
Them shop vacs are a savior, man. I just actually got a new one for Christmas. Really was in need of one. Mine blew up on me, and I haven't had one. So luckily the basement has it flooded, knock on wood.
Right.
So, glad to have you back on the show. As I said, you did, talk to us about a lot of different things last year that you had in the works that you recently released and had on the way. I know some of those things have come out since we last spoke. Why don't you let the fans know of some of your newer projects that have recently dropped?
Yeah, last year was crazy. When we last talked, I was just releasing Nocturnal Bloodlines. And then since then, I released an EP called Oh Shit Monsters. And we did a throwback to a bunch of my old school music, and it was basically laying the old persona to rest, and that was called Vigil. So we did those, and then my second movie came out last year, The Ark Interview. And, I did the tour with Razkel and Luna 13, and Justin Sane Native and Nairo the Madman, and man, that was one of the most awesome experiences of my life. So last year was crazy, man.
Sounds like it, man. You were working with some really good people. A lot of the names that you just mentioned there are people that I certainly, have a connection with in the underground and love to work with, and it's good to be working beside good people, and I think you had yourself certainly a good year, and I think those people fit well with you on the tour that you did with Razzel. It's unfortunate that I wasn't able to see or be a part of that in any way, as far as even opening up here in my area. But one of these times it's going to cross lines. It's going to work out.
Oh yeah, I do want to take this time to thank Raz for having me out on the road, and if you guys live under a rock and haven't heard of any of those people that I just mentioned, make sure you do. Especially Luna 13, I see them out there doing a lot of shit for the community as far as the TST goes, and donating a lot to a lot of charities that they stand for and they believe in. And Team She just absolutely killed it last year. So everybody that was on that tour is just absolutely amazing, and I'm glad to call them family now.
Yeah, they're great people, and I've had the pleasure of playing with some of them over the years many times. Some of them I've never got a chance to play with. Nairo the Madman I haven't got a chance to cross paths with yet, but played with Raz probably 8 or 9 times over the years. Recently just opened up for her during the Bump in the Night tour that she had that came through Pittsburgh, and she does have a hell of a crew there. She is an awesome label. Diabolic Monster and Razzel were both recently on the show in the last 2 months, I believe. So if you're listening out there, make sure you jump back to those old episodes. Both very, very good interviews with Diabolic the Monster and Razzel. But great tours that she was doing, bringing a lot of good names with her. And I'm glad to see that you were on that. I'm sure you got some good experiences, out there playing on the road.
Oh yeah, man! Texas was amazing. Probably one of the all-time favorite shows that I've ever played was in Los Angeles at the Rainbow Room, the legendary Rainbow Room. And for those of you that don't know, that's where the Doors started playing, and it was Lemmy's old bar. And I mean, as soon as we pulled up, Ron Jeremy was sitting at the bar, and it was a super magical night. And every time I see these movies now, like I just watched this movie American Satan about a band out in LA, and they play the Rainbow Room and stuff, and it's like, man, that was a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I was super stoked that I could do it.
Yeah, no, that's something you never forget for sure, that you get to play somewhere that's so iconic and it's been around for so long. There's a history to it. You see it in movies and you're like, yeah, I was there. It's one of those really big stepping stones that you need to reach.
Right.
Now, so obviously you dropped us with some new material, hit us with some new material in the last year that everybody needs to certainly be checking out, and you've put out some films since then. What has been, on your mind as far as future projects coming up?
Man, my mind runs a million miles an hour. But so far what I've announced is next year, in the next month actually, another album called Southern Gothic is coming out, and it's going to feature Double Gauge from here in Atlanta, Fams and the Hooligans on there, man, so many people, man, and they blessed me with the time, man, and it was just Nasty Ink, he's on there. It's going to be just a dope album. And for that album, if you go back and listen to a couple of my newer albums, I've been talking a lot of the Heartless, being the leader of the Heartless and everything. Well, we're actually going to be doing a fan pack for the Army of the Heartless, which is, some of the people that constantly support me. We're releasing a brand new charm for the Army of the Heartless, and it's going to come with a signed 8x10 personal letter from me and free digital downloads and early access to everything that I do this year. So it's kind of my way of giving back to the fans that do support me. And then from there, I got another album. It's more of a metal album. Southern Gothic is very, very hip-hop, very Southern. And then after that, we got Monster Vision coming out, and that is very much the opposite. It's pretty much a straight metal album. So, and then in between there, I haven't announced it anywhere yet, and going to kind of keep it that way. But me and another artist friend of mine have been secretly working on a project that will come out and just blow everybody away. It's something definitely neither one of us have stepped on this territory before, so it's going to be crazy, man. And I'm thankful to work with that person. And that's just music. Outside of that, we got a couple short films coming out throughout the year. And we're doing pre-production right now for my next full-length 82.3, The Scream, which is all set in 1985, and it's about a radio DJ who kills people live on the air, and nobody really knows if it's real or not, so you'll have to check that one out when it comes out.
I love it, man. You're always busy, and that's why, we certainly have such appreciation for you. I know I certainly do, because like myself, your hands are in a lot of things, but you're doing a lot of things very well, putting out a lot of things, and, across audio and visual, and, just always staying busy, and that's what I like to see. Now, with the new movie, has that been a newer writing of yours as far as a script for the movie, or has that been something you've had for a little while that you're finally just getting to get out? Because I know, like you said, you have a lot of stuff going on in your mind.
Actually, funny enough, it was the very first script that I ever wrote, and I have two scripts that I wrote back to back, and had one of my good friends, Eric, come in and rewrite with me. And that was 82.3, The Scream, and Night of the Pumpkin People. And those are going to be the next two bigger films that I wanted to do, but I wanted to wait and hang on to those until I had a little bit of experience, because the storylines for them are not only just full of things that we grew up with in the 80s and 90s, but it's all going to be practical effects. So that's going to cost a lot more than I had back then, but thankfully now it's kind of picking up a little bit, so we'll be able to do more with what we have.
Well, it makes sense. You wanted to keep those very precious scripts, your early writings that you really treasured, something that you could hold on to until it was the right time experience-wise to put it out, and you know, it's great. I can't wait to see both of them when they drop. What was the recent short film that you did with you as a call center rep?
That's called Thanks for Calling, and you know, I actually didn't write anything for that. That's actually at a call center that I work at, and my boss was talking one day, and she's like, "Man, that guy really pissed you off, huh?" And I was like, "Dude, we have all their information right here in front of us. Like, I'll show up at your fucking house, dude." And so she was like, "You should do something with that." And I was like, "You know what?" And so her boyfriend, TJ Gore, who has been helping me out with a lot of things, actually came over to the office that night, and we shot that little short with no script. We just kind of winged it, and I think it came out pretty good.
It did come out pretty good. I was surfing one day on the web, just flipping through, you know, thumbing it a little bit, and I seen a video from you, and I played it, and it caught me at the perfect time. I was laughing my ass off at that. I'm like, that's a really true, you know, short little clip. Like, hey man, you're pissing me off. You're talking a lot of shit. I know everything about you.
Right.
And people don't think about that. Like, you know, fuck this call center rep guy. You know, I don't want to talk to him. I'm going to be a complete piece of shit to him. And then, you know, you don't really think about the opposite side of it.
Right.
Very cool. And you're always putting out, like I said, a lot of things. You know, what about the comic book side? Are you releasing anything on the illustration?
No, I kind of got out of the comic book game. We did. We still have, of course, the 3 books that we did, and I'll probably be re-releasing those as one long graphic novel.
Okay.
But outside of that, man, it's hard when you are a beginner comic series and you really don't have like Dark Horse or somebody backing you.
Yeah.
Because I was paying like $25 to $3,000 a book just to have it drawn, and to be honest, you know, those were the lowest sales. So I was just like, man, I can't really put any more in. So that's why we decided to do a lot more short film, because I have a lot more people willing to come and you know, play than I do have, you know, people to draw. And then I could just, you know, continue to release the storylines, but do it in a way that I could release it free, you know?
No, it makes sense. You sometimes have to sacrifice some of your passion and some of your outlet that you want to mess with, because if it doesn't make sense, it's not making money, it's time consuming, it's expensive, and it's not really, you know, getting the desired results you want. You just have to kind of bite the bullet, cut it, and move on, and put that in, you know, effort into something else. And as you said, you put it in a short film, which I think, honestly, you know, and ultimately is a smart move for you, because I think there's more of a market for what you're putting out in that side than there would be the comic book. As you said, it's very hard to break out in that industry without having a major backer behind you. Whereas with the footage, YouTube, things like that, you can really put it out and get it to a much broader, you know, group of people out there quicker.
Right.
Very interesting. So I'll have to be looking out for a lot of the new film that you're bringing out. Obviously some new music coming out. You're always pumping stuff out, man. So you have how many albums you said coming up?
3 this year.
That's impressive for anybody to put 3 albums out in a year, and you just recently dropped a couple last year, so that's impressive, man. Keep it coming. We're going to play a little bit of that music tonight and let people hear what it is that you have in store for them. And you sent us 2 different tracks tonight, and we have Happy Hollow featuring Grimm and Losers Club. You know what? Why don't we actually just jump into one of those right now and let the people hear you? Which would you prefer?
Let's do the one with Keegan Grimm on it, man. He absolutely killed that, and he did the whatever you call it, where the lyrics go across the screen.
Oh, like a lyric video, yeah, like a
He did the lyric video for it, and it was super dope. And it was just my first time really dabbling into more of the rock stuff that you're going to hear on Monster Vision, and he absolutely killed the track. So. And that was off of my last album, Oh Shit Monsters.
Okay, well, let's play that now. We just had Keegan Grimm on the show last week, so folks, make sure you check that out as well. Great interview, great artist, and you're going to get to hear him right now on Dean's track, Happy Hollow. We'll be right back on Uncovering the Underground.
to consent with constantly at war with the sword as I'm desperate. Horns and a crown of thorns, no repentance. I am empty, I was born defective. Born with a death wish, I am defiance. I was the thief he was crucified with. Now I'm getting high just to find the silence. We get one life, that's a single we survive it. Yeah, and there ain't nothing after. So I'm treating every verse like my last words. Life is inadequate, no turning backwards. I'm a disaster, dirty rat bastard. I always walk alone, I never take advice. Writing every word in the diary of a wasted life. And I've been cursed with all this pain inside. We were all created just to learn to say goodbye. Existence is suffering, and all I know is I don't need your faith, I don't need your love. Help me alone, help me alone. I don't want advice, I don't want your love. Help me alone, help me alone. There's nothing left for me here, so let me go, let me go. I'm sickened by the theme here. Just let me go, let me go.
Well, you heard it, folks. That was Happy Hollow featuring Keegan Grimm from D.E.A.N, Destiny, Everything, and Nothing. Wow. That was a hell of a track, brother. I'm very impressed. I didn't get to listen to that one before the show. I usually get to hear everything, and I've heard obviously a lot of your music over the years, but I actually did not get to check that one out, and I was listening during the break, and what an awesome track. Kudos to both of you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, man, he killed it for me, and I couldn't have picked a better person to do that song with, I don't think.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I mean, good personality, good, head on his shoulders, good skill. I mean, I love his music, and it was a great time talking to him on the last show, getting to know him a little better. And I can tell you, I'm certainly a longtime fan after that, so especially with hearing that song, too. So shout out to you, Keegan. I know he is on the chat stream right now, chatting it up with some people. So once again, people, if you're out there, go ahead and chat it up with us on Spreaker.com's app and look up Uncovering the Underground. And you got some other people coming in. Cody said that song is fucking fire. Well, that absolutely is, brother. So
thank you, Cody.
Thank you, Cody. Keegan, good job on the song. And I seen or heard Dean say that you put a lyric video to that. So I'm sure it's fire. I've seen all your lyric videos, that you've been putting out recently. And dude does some good work on that end.
Absolutely, man. Everybody should hit him up and buy one.
Now, was that your first lyric video? I know you have several videos out, but I mean, was it the first time you did a full-blown lyric video?
Yeah, that was the first time.
And how's people been perceiving it so far?
Pretty good, man. It's been hanging in there with the rest of the actual music videos, because he told such a good story with it, and the visuals of it were just super, super cool, man. So it was hanging in there.
Now, how many music videos you have out at this point, roughly? I know you have a lot, but I mean, how many?
3. Yeah, 3 plus that one.
Okay, so
4 altogether.
Yeah, 4, pretty good number. So,
and then before I rebranded, I have about 8 out.
Okay, maybe that's what I was thinking, because I was going to say, I remember when we talked last time, I thought there was more than that, but sometimes I mix it up with talking to so many people. But no, that makes sense then, because you probably mentioned having videos out before their initial rebranding.
Yeah, I definitely like the new stuff that I've been doing, especially just because I have full creative control. Back then, I didn't really know anything about technology. Like, I was one of those people that honestly had to have my friends like log into Facebook for me and do like just everything that had to do with electronics. So now when I talk to them and I'm like, oh yeah, I did the CGI work for blah, 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 they're like, you did a what now? You can't even use a rotary phone, dude. Like, what?
No, I'll be the first to tell you I'm not technologically advanced as far as doing a lot of the techie side of things. I know how to work the computer. I know how to do the basic things I need to run my business and do my my art. But you start digging into anything, it's more technical than that. I'm out.
Yeah, I used to be the exact same way, man. But used to be the dumb guy in the group. But so I think that's why I shocked everybody when I started putting these videos out, and they were like, "Who edited it for you?" I was like, "I did." They were like, "No, quit lying. Who did it?"
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough to really learn that side. I remember I got a set of turntables one time, talking about technicality. I'm like, I can do this. You know what I mean? What's there to it? Like, I'm watching. I knew it was hard, but I'm watching and I'm like, yeah, there's no reason I couldn't figure this out. Hardest fucking thing I ever tried to do was learn how to spin. Man. I mean, and I was trying to spin some like trance, dubstep, like electronica type music. But like legit, and I'm just training and I'm working at it, and I got absolutely nowhere. End up turning around and selling my turntables that I just bought several months prior at a loss. My wife wanted to kill me. She's like, "Why the fuck would you ever buy turntables?" I'm like, "I really thought I could do it, babe. I really thought I could pull it off."
Well, now she could put a vase on it and it'll spin the flowers around.
Yeah, well, I don't have it anymore. I traded that in for, I think I traded it in for some other equipment because, yeah, that's all it would have been. It's just a table to put flowers on, so.
Or you could have a ghost moment and do some pottery on it.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Just, that's a good movie. I haven't seen Ghost in a long time. Holy shit, throwback.
All right.
Now, also, I remember, do you have anything to do with the production of your beats? Because I remember I tried that and got Machine Micro at one point, started trying to do beat production. Once again, was like, nope, not for me.
No, man, it's the exact same thing for me. For the last couple albums, it's been a majority of my homeboy Pete Lyrical. It's Lyrical. He used to do production for Psycho Jesus Group, Act Vaughn, Miss Kisa, pretty much everybody in Florida. And then I was blessed to work with a dude named Steve on the Beat for this last album that I'm working on now, Southern Gothic. And I actually found this dude named Doug from Brazil who's doing all of my metal tracks. He actually did that song. And he is just a one-man band, like guitars, bass, drums. He does everything, dude. So I lucked out with him.
That's amazing, man. And it's funny because usually when you find those people that work really well, that are like one-man bands doing the heavier stuff, but doing it with people who also rap, oftentimes it seems to be people from out of the country. And case in point, right before we started the show tonight on a music portion, one of my artists, Patrick from Nine Stitch Method, did another song with a guy that he's friends with and works with. And the name of their little group is called South of Clarity. And their song was called Coward's Ruse. And it was the last song before the actual interview portion started. Heavy as shit, kills it. Dudes, I forget what country he's in. It might be Brazil too. But their work that they do together is phenomenal. And he's just like a one-man band, the other guy.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited for Monster Vision, mainly because, it was a half and half artwork thing. It was between Doug and Saint Senna. Saint Senna did half of the beats, and then Doug did the other half, and then went in over a couple of Saint Senna's tracks and put in some live guitar and stuff. So it's just going to have a sound that I've never been able to have before, and it's just going to be my perfect, album. What I think would be a perfect D.E.A.N album.
Okay, perfect. No, that's, if you can sit there and say about yourself and say, you know what, this is the perfect idolization of what I could and would put out, then you've nailed it, man. That's all you can ever hope for, is to put that one album out that embodies you.
Right.
I feel like I did that whenever I put out The Divine Retribution of Skippy Ickham. I've put out albums that I feel were just as good, in different ways. But I think that was the one when I put it out, I'm like, that embodies what and who Skippy Ickham is.
Right.
And I still get to hear that all the time from the fans. They're like, "Oh, why don't you write an album like that one?" I'm like, "Go fuck yourself. How about that, huh?"
Right.
They're always comparing to that one album. Like, why don't you put another one? Like I can't. All right. Like that every album's different. Every album's my baby, but it's a completely different child. You can never make the same clone of another child. So you only get one. You only get one, folks. Let's see. I'm reading some comments here. Every time I heard Monster Vision, I think of 90s channel TNT Monster Vision with Joe Bob
Briggs. Yes, sir. That is exactly where it came from. Monster Vision was one of the very first places I was ever introduced to horror because I grew up in a very Christian home. But, of course, TNT, we had wrestling and stuff, which is weird to me that WWE back in the day in the Attitude Era, that was acceptable in a Christian home, but but horror was not. But every Saturday or Sunday night, Joe Bob would come on late night, and I would sneak out into the living room and watch Monster Vision. They even had, actually, I think before Joe Bob, Penn and Teller did a few episodes too, but Joe Bob, who I just recently got to meet at Spooky Empire, he basically introduced me to who I am today. So it's, that's always been very special to me. So I wanted to kind of embody that in the title.
Oh, that's awesome, though, man. I mean, that's an influential show that touched a lot of people. So it's funny that you were able to take something from it. It was able to, kind of shape you into what and who you are today as an artist.
Right.
Now, that was from Cody. Cody's obviously very observant out there. Thank you for commenting, Cody. And he put, you got me to help you. So what that was referencing to is I said that I'm stupid on the tech side. I'm a very good business owner and leader. I'm a good artist in different fields. But when it comes to the techie side, I'm dumb as shit. That's what I got Cody for, folks. Cody is a major godsend and does a lot for Brutal Business Entertainment on the technical side, and runs our website and is an artist himself. Check out Demo Demon if you haven't checked him out. Great, dope music, and he recently released his newest album last year, Blackout Chapter 3. All right, so let's look through. I know that I'm constantly playing on, the show Man-Made Monster is one of the tracks I play from you quite frequently on Uncovering the Underground, and I believe that was with Danny Drive-By and Mad Max. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, man! I love that track. That's actually one of the ones we did the music video for, and probably still to date one of my favorite music videos because I did so much with it that I didn't expect I could do. And Mad Max is the homeboy. Danny Drive-By the homeboy, and I don't know, it came out awesome, man. So it's one of my favorites for sure.
No, I really like that music video. I really like the song. I think everybody did a good job. I love your verse on the song, and I love what you did with your video and visualization during it with more of the ritualistic, occult items out on the table. Definitely a very cool vibe to it. And that's the song, like I said, we play that usually every couple of weeks on the show, so it gets pretty steady rotation. We've gotten some good results on that in the past, so kudos to you on that song. It's always an Uncovering the Underground favorite.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Now, talking about occult, style things, if you don't mind me asking, I don't normally get on religion, but I'm a cultist of my own, so I always like talking to another person into the same type of field. Has this been something you've been into for a very long time?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've known that I was, for lack of a better term, a witch for a very, very long time. There was a time where I went through an atheistic point of view, but one of my best friends, Purple, he used to study Santeria and voodoo, hoodoo, and he showed me things in life that were undeniable. So it was just, I know that there might not be an almighty whatever, but I do know that magic exists, and I have a lot of theories of my own. A lot of people would think I'm nuts, but whatever.
No, 100% on the same page with you, brother. I don't talk about it too often myself, but am a firm believer in magic and the power of magic. And I know a lot of people are like, what the fuck are these guys on? But no, it's funny because the earth started out and a lot of people believed in magic, and magic was everywhere you would look, and you know, all the scriptures and all the different things you looked at, there was elements of magic. And over time, we dumbed that down and made that seem like that was just an old belief, like, oh, they were crazy, magic never existed, but yet still put it into all of our movies and different things we're watching and associated with, and we have a fascination with it. And the reason that is they did a full 360 on us, or a 180, I guess you could say, and they flipped it on us, made us think it doesn't exist, and then taunt us with it in you know, cinema and things like that. But as you said, it is very real. There's things that are absolutely undeniable, that can be shown, can be experienced, and can be done. It takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of studying, it takes a lot of meditation, a lot of different things like that, but you can access a lot of things that most people don't even realize exist.
Well, I mean, not only that, it's like the world is so full of mystery, from the Anunnaki to the Library of Alexandria being burnt down, and God knows what the Catholics are hiding in the the Vatican. You know, there's so much that really probably only the ultra rich know, that basic people like us in day-to-day life, we have to really, really study and research to find out even a glimpse of how it may work. So, and I don't even think that this is the first time that society has made it this far, you know, so.
Oh, we're getting off topic, you know, folks, but that's okay, because I'm a firm believer in a lot of these things. This should be topics for my other show, because we talk a lot about conspiracy and a lot about paranormal and supernatural. But I believe, as you just said, this isn't our first time that we've gotten this far, and we'll be erased at some point, and then it will start again. Because how do you explain structures and foundations that are as technologically advanced as the pyramids, and easily as big, if not bigger, being found under the ocean, that predate Neanderthals and man? Where were, you know, who built them? How were they built before humans even existed?
Right.
And they're built to a level that would be hard for us to even build today. And these aren't just the pyramids; these are under the ocean. So were they built under the ocean, or were they during a time period before Neanderthals, so to speak? And that all happened. It's all been wiped clean, and now we're just starting again. I mean, it's very interesting to look into it, and I study all of that very, very heavily. So glad to talk to a fellow out-of-the-box thinker.
Oh, yeah, man. I don't think here's the thing, though. I don't think anybody's wrong. I've always believed in the Tinkerbell theory, which is, you know, if you ever watch Peter Pan, somebody says to Tinkerbell, I don't believe in fairies. Well, she starts to die. And then she's like, well, clap, you know, say that you believe in us, say that you believe in us. And I believe that anything that anybody puts out in there to the universe and says, I believe in this, that gives that particular thing power. So it's, you know, nobody's wrong, nobody's right. We all don't fucking know, but we're going to die and find out one day.
That's true. I mean, as you said, I've certainly myself have experienced a lot of things that are absolutely unexplainable, bizarre, completely, you know, just off the rails. But who's to say that I'm right? Who's to say that you are? You know what I mean? It's just everybody. If I'm believing a certain thing, I'm putting enough energy and belief and desire into the air. There's a chance that somehow that's being picked up and projected back to me in some sort of way that someone else who doesn't put off that frequency, they're not getting. So yeah, like you said, who's to say who's right or wrong? We all experience things a little bit different, and life a little bit different.
Right.
Now, you know, any big plans for shows coming up? I'm going to get back on subject with the music, but I like jumping off the side there a little bit. That's always a little bit fun. But what can we expect from you as far as performing out, or any tours, any shows, anything like that?
Well, here's the thing, man. I am taking the year off from doing shows And it's for two reasons. One, I don't want to go out on tour currently because we're saving up for our wedding, which is October of this year. And so that's where my main focus is. And then outside of that, it's just shows around Georgia are so few and far between. And it's hard because how the music industry used to work compared to how it works now, especially in Georgia. It's like, I remember back in the day, I would be able to approach a bar and say, hey, you can keep 50% of the ticket sales in all the bars. You ain't got nothing going on this night. Let's make it happen. Well, now everybody wants like the pay to play, we need a $5,000 bar guarantee and shit like that. And I'm not for that. So until I can get back out on the tour, the road in 2021, I'll probably refrain from doing shows.
Yeah, man, it's
but
tough.
I will
there's a lot of people
content.
that are greedy. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, as long as you're releasing content in the meantime, it's going to have people still listening, still following. You don't lose anything, and whenever you do come back out, people will be very excited to see it because it'll have been a while since they last seen it. So it doesn't necessarily hurt you, and it isn't necessarily a bad thing to take a little time off.
It's the main thing is that gets it to me is like people offer me 15-minute slots and shit, and that's cool or whatever. But I have literally put in probably near $1,500 to $2,000 on my stage set that I'm working on, between costumes, huge props that I'm building, banners and stuff like that. And you really can't do a show in 15 minutes. Rappers can do a show in 15 minutes because they just get up there, they do their shit. But I have never been one to be like, hey, I'm a rapper. I am definitely a showsman,
You're an artist,
so,
yeah. You're well-rounded, and you want to be able to put on the correct performance, not just music, but performance. And it's hard.
Right.
It's hard to do in 15 minutes. I went through a funny stage because, as you start out, most people don't ever give you more than 10, 15 minutes, and then you build up, and then you start to get more in larger time slots. And I remember as I got bigger, I would always want to play as long as I possibly could. And on certain shows that I threw, or on other ones that I, was asked to be on, and I'd say, hey, I need to be able to get a 45-minute spot. And for a long time, I used to play, 45 minutes. And then lately, I've actually dropped back down to about a half an hour, which I think is the perfect time slot. It's not too long. It's not too short. You can present everything you have to in a half an hour if you do it correctly. Whereas like the 45-minute slots were good, but you start to get to the point where you notice you lose the crowd's attention. Even though they're standing there still rocking with you, you can play for a half an hour and they're hooked solid the whole time. You play for 45 minutes, you can start to see towards the end they're kind of waning off. And they're like, all right, man, like 45 minutes of watching one rapper and there's like 5 more on the show. So you have to come out and punch them hard with what you got, and then you disappear and make them crave more.
Right.
15 minutes just doesn't do it, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that 15 minutes can do it, you know what I mean?
It can. I mean, true.
But for me, dude, lyrically, I know that I'm not out here being one of the choppers or the most wittiest punchlines. So when I go to perform on stage, that is the moment that I have to, bring the props, bring the ideas so that you can visually see what I'm trying to portray in the music,
Yeah, like I said, it's a full performance, because there's some people that just come out and they're not really about stage show, props, presence, anything like that. They're about just the music. You got other people that are more about the overall look of it. I want it to have a certain feel to it, a look to it, a vibe to it, and the music itself. It becomes a production rather than just a quick few songs I'm going to bang out for you, impress you.
Right.
That's dope, man. You do have a good look to you. You have a good presence about you. Obviously, everything from, the short films that you've done to the mask to your music videos, you've learned to build up your own personality and presence as D.E.A.N. And that's important for anybody to have that brand that I can look at and say, that's D.E.A.N shit right there.
Right.
A lot of people don't do that because you look at 5 different things and you're like, I don't know. I feel like they're trying a lot of different things here, but none of them are going the same direction. I don't feel that's the case for you. I feel that your side of things, you're pretty strong mentally on who you are with all of your different sides of art. You can tell they're all coming from the same mind, but at the same time, they're all individually, unique and diverse, which is important.
Right.
Let's take a look and see if we got any other comments coming in. Sometimes this thing lags a little bit. Don't look like we have any right now after the Monster Vision comment. If anybody else out there wants to comment in, Spreaker.com. Go ahead and hit us up with some comments. Ask our guests some questions this evening. Now, we are going to jump into another song. I decided, if you don't mind, I'm going to actually play 3 songs tonight of yours because I do have some of your stuff backlogged. Now, for some reason, I'm going through and there's too many songs to try to narrow them all down. Man-Made Monster is on here somewhere, but I did have, if I can find it again, where did it go? I had Satanic Panic, and I was going to play that one and then play your other one last, if you didn't mind, but now I'm having a hard time finding it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see if we can find. There's so many songs. I get so many submissions on the show for the Underground Music Hour, and it's great, but it just becomes ridiculous to try to keep track of everyone's song. There's like 1,000 of them here. So that does bring me to a point, folks. If you want to ever submit your songs for review to possibly be played on the Underground Music Hour here on Uncovering the Underground, you can send us a email to brutalbusinessentertainment@gmail.com. We keep track of those every day, answer everyone every day, so we'll get back to you pretty quick, and we're always looking for new stuff to play on the show. So if you have something you want to try out on the show, send it in, submit it in either WAV or MP3 format. Name it properly, please. Don't just send me like file 2, and then I have no idea who it is, because then I'm never going to be able to get back to you. But please submit your songs. We'd love to listen to them. But we're going to take a break right now. This is Satanic Panic, and why don't you give us an interlude into the song, give us the feel of the song, and then go ahead and drop it for us.
Yeah, man, Satanic Panic is actually a pretty special song to me. I do support everything that the TST, the Satanic Temple, does, and if you don't know if you have a local chapter, check them out. But it definitely has a message to it, and I believe 100% in it, so...
Well, let's hear it. Satanic Panic from D.E.A.N. We'll be right back on Uncovering the Underground.
As surely as I'm speaking by the Spirit of God, penetrating your heart, burning on the inside of you, and you need to make a vow of faith of $1,000.
You blame hate, you should take a look in the mirror. Take us down so your Savior can be nearer. Smear this fear campaign so in the next life you're a winner. Indulge not in this life, cause then you would be a sinner. It's a thriller, quiz and killer, sit among the archdiocese, preaching to the heathens, hide the pockets of the pious kids. Fire and the brimstone, talking like you Jim Jones, corner me with bullshit. I will leave your mind blown. Walk out of here with your Holy Ghost, telling me I'm gonna burn and roast you simple sheep, gonna make believe. Come to me, gonna throw these bows. I've seen the blackest hearts in those upon the pulpit, but what you love's the devil. Gather round and let's all burn it. All bow down, kneel before the crucifix. You're brainwashed now, soaking all the stupid shit. All bow down, kneel before the crucifix. You're brainwashed now, soaking all the stupid shit. Come all ye with little minds and feel the Holy Ghost. Worship ye this selfish God and you will never rose. Give me all your money, free thinkers not apply. Surrender completely and I'll show you the light.
We got people that don't have hardly nothing going for them. They got enough faith to make $1,000 vow and send them $5 here and $10 there.
Y'all should thank the devil, man, he's kept you all in business, making hella profit off the super religious. But you don't believe me? Here, let's check the statistics. $1 million houses with no taxes, that's slick shit. Evangelists bring hell, so they keep you all in fear. Then pass around the plates as they smile ear to ear. Keep the money coming or he'll corrupt your children. Satan's coming closer, stack the bills up to the ceiling. You can drink a bottle, smoke some meth and beat your wife. One trip to the booth and God will make it alright. Do whatever you want, sin, all you can sin. You'll always be forgiven if you bow down to him. Come on. Come all ye with little minds and feel the Holy Ghost. Worship ye this selfish God and you will never rose. Give me all your money, free thinkers not apply. Surrender completely and I'll show you the light. All bow down, kneel before the crucifix. You're brainwashed now, soaking all the stupid shit. All bow down, kneel before the crucifix. You're brainwashed now, soaking all the stupid shit.
Thank you, Lord. You say you want to make a $500 vow? Then do it. Then do it. If that takes faith for you, do it. You want to make a $100 vow or two? If that takes faith, see, I like 1,000 because I know I got you. I got you into faith.
All right, folks, we're back on an Uncovering the Underground radio podcast show. I'm your host, Skippy Ickham of Brutal Business Entertainment, and that was Satanic by D.E.A.N. Destiny, Everything, and Nothing. And, fucking great song. As you said, I'm certainly into a lot of the beliefs that you are, personally and religiously. And I am a firm believer, as I have a large metal statue of the Baphomet 3 feet from my radio station here. I'm a believer that I am my own God. I am the controller of my own destiny and fate. And that kind of ties in with the Wicca and magic side of things, that I control a lot of my own things that happen in my life and the things around me. So I'm glad to hear that you have a lot of those same beliefs. That's really true, though, man. That's deep as fuck, because that's exactly it. You manifest what you want out of your life, and it means everything to you because it is your life. If no one else gives a shit, fuck them, it doesn't matter. And that's the way I believe on things, that, a lot of people sit back and wait for something to happen to them. I don't wait for it to happen to me. I grab it by the horns and I take it, because I am my own leader. I am my own God. Why would I sit back and pray that it falls on my lap? Why would I pray that this happens or that happens and ask a magical force to come and answer my prayers, instead of just capturing it and doing it myself, me manifesting it and making it happen? So it's a shame more the world doesn't think that way. You know what? I lost you for a little bit. It says, I had someone come in and say, can't hear him. That's strange. Well, fuck. Let's jump back on that. Recap some of those feelings. I think it cut us off after the song we came back. Well, they heard my end, apparently. So they heard my end of ranting about, obviously Luciferianism and being your own God. But why don't you recapture? You said that's been a piece that's been, heavily a part of your life, and it's part of your name. Tell us again, how you said about your name and what that means, because I would like them to hear from your voice.
For sure, and I hope that you guys can hear me this time. It's in the name, Destiny, Everything, and Nothing. And I believe I was given that name for a reason. And it just, my destiny means everything to me. And, the rest of the world really doesn't give a shit unless, you find those like-minded people, and make that connection. So.
No, that's deep, man. Like I said before, and I heard so I apologize if you're hearing me say them things twice to you folks, but I'm glad you can hear him now. I'm not sure what happened there. But no, that's deep, has a lot of meaning to it. And as I said, it's a shame more people don't believe that way. I mean, as you said earlier, no one's wrong. Hey, everybody believe in what you want to believe and follow what you want to follow. I'll never push my beliefs on you. But, instead of sitting back and whining about shit, why don't you fucking grab life by the balls and lead your own life?
Right.
As they would say, think for your fucking self.
Exactly.
Now, we do want to thank the listeners out there, because that is a perfect example of why I love you guys. Because if it wouldn't be for the chat system, instant message system, listeners, we wouldn't have known that Dean, for some reason, was cut off there. So thank you for bringing that to our attention, because there could be people out there listening saying, what the fuck is going on? And I would never know the difference, because I can hear them clear as day. So I don't know if the phone was cutting in and out or what there, but we apologize for the technical difficulties. If you did miss anything and you're listening live, make sure that you always go back and listen to the episode from the beginning. You can jump through it and catch and listen to anything you might have missed.
Right, and I want to take a minute to thank everybody also, man. Like, I am not everybody's cup of tea. And for those who drink the tea, I thank you more than you will ever know. You're the reason that I do what I do. You're my muse, and I hope to continue entertaining and educating you on everything that is involved in the world of D.E.A.N and Autumndale. Because honestly, besides, my everyday life and my wife and stuff, the art is what drives me. So thank you so much for even putting $1 or a minute listening, and it means the world. So thank you.
You heard it, folks. Thank you for everything that you do, and continue to do it, because that is what drives all of us to be able to continue to day in and day out push our music, make our art, because there are times when we just want to quit, times that we say, why the hell are we doing this to ourselves? But it's those messages of, hey, man, you're amazing. Hey, man, I love what you do. Hey, I seen that new music video you put out, or that new short film. Those are the things that we see that, is fuel to the fire. Sometimes individually they don't seem like they change things, but when they add up together with others, or even sometimes by themselves, it is the kindling we need to keep firing away at what we do. So thank you so much, and make sure you support Dean in everything he does and all his ventures. Buy his music, follow his short films, be a part of what it is that he does.
And I mean, right now we're doing a free giveaway. I wanted to bring this up too, and it's the most simple thing that I've ever done, and I'm giving everybody, there's 3 winners. The first prize winner will get Nocturnal Bloodlines, Oh Shit Monsters, my first 2 movies, Porcelain and The Ark Interview, and all 3 of the comic books, as well as our obscure trash clothing, My Bloody Valentine pin. The second prize winner will get a copy of all 3 of the comic books, as well as a pin, and the third prize winner will get a pin. And basically all you need to do is send me 3 screenshots. That's it. One, you go to the community section of the Autumndale page, add all your friends, go do the same thing on the Destiny Everything and Nothing page, send me snapshots of those, and then post one of my music videos and say, hey, go like and subscribe. And that will literally enter you in the contest, and that ends tomorrow. So,
well, shit, folks, go do it right now if you're listening. If you need that information, hit Dean or myself up, and we'll get you in touch with what you need to do. It ends tomorrow. There is no reason that anyone listening right now is not doing that. That's an awesome set of giveaways that you could possibly be winning there. So take, your chance at it. Now, a couple questions I always ask every guest that I wanted to make sure I asked you, and I always love this question, and the different, responses I get and why. If you could pick between having the one hit that you put out that just changes your life, it makes you rich, it makes you famous, it's keeping true to you though, so you're keeping it horrorcore, you're keeping it hardcore, but you put out this song that just sweeps the world, you make it famous, you make it big, you can live off that song for the rest of your life, but every single song that you release after that is just absolute garbage. You just cannot seem to write a good song again, so it's always like that one-hit wonder. Or do you pick the opposite side and release song after song of just magic, but no matter how hard you push it and press it, no matter how much you spread it around, it seems like no one gives a shit about it. So you're thinking it's the most brilliant song you ever heard, you put it out there, and it's people like, yeah, cool, man. It just doesn't hit. Which would you prefer if you had to pick one?
I know that answer, and I'll give you why. I would choose the one song that made me rich and famous, because if that happened, I know, one, I will have made the song that embodies me the best, and I will still continue to be able to perform for people, which is the most important thing for me. And on the other hand, I will have the money to fund film projects. So either way, it's a win.
You can't really lose in that end. I mean, I get a lot of different responses. I have some people say, you know what, I'm true to my craft. I want to write banger after banger. I don't care about money. And hey, that's not wrong. But there's a lot of other people who say, hey, I'm putting out one masterpiece that I'm for the rest of my life. I'm like, hey, I put out a masterpiece. I'm rich. I'm famous off it. Yes, the rest of my songs suck, but I can still go out and play a bunch of shit songs apparently. And you know what? People are going to want to hear it because they're going to stick around till the end of the show to hear that one masterpiece. So I can still play. So I mean, I kind of get, go in that direction as well. You don't think that it would get old though, just playing that same goddamn song over and over and over again, show after show?
I mean, fuck, Jimmy Buffett did it.
Jimmy Buffett did it for quite a long time.
And he's got restaurants and all kinds of shit.
He's got mad loot, and he's got people that even when he goes out and plays, people just pack in. Every now and again he pops up and, packs parking lots, people partying for miles just to be at a Jimmy Buffett concert. Most of them don't even go into the actual show. They just party in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's the shit.
That really is a shit. I mean, that's the dream right there. It's like I become so big that people literally just come to the parking lot to party in the parking lot of the show to say that they partied at my show in the parking lot. Like, that's crazy. That's how you know you've done something right. I don't quite get it. I've never been a big Jimmy Buffett fan. No hate against him. I respect everybody for doing their thing. I just never been that much of a fan of his tunes. I never understood quite, how he got so big. But hey, brother, if you got it, you run with it and kill it.
It was the beach culture, man, and I only know that because I lived on Daytona Beach for a majority of my 20s, man, and it's that beach culture. It's almost the same thing as juggalos when it comes to the diehard fan, but it's those people that love the beach culture.
It is. I mean, it's definitely beach music, and like you said, it's got kind of its own cult following. And that's how I think he just captivated. He was at the right place at the right time to just fucking take it. Because, I mean,
right.
You have the metal drums in there, and that metal drum sound gives it that tropical island beach sound, and people love it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the beach, so I can understand. It's just not something I normally jam in my daily, I'm heading to work jamming some Buffett.
Right.
Cheeseburgers in paradise, baby.
Work,
Unless you're going to work and just getting sloshed, then I don't think you're probably jamming too much Buffett. Now, obviously, you kind of made mention to something else I was going to ask you. You kind of already answered it, I think, that you said you'd have the money from that one hit to be able to put it into film. So a question I normally ask everybody is if you had all the time back from writing, recording, everything that you have ever put into your music, and you had that time back to put into one other thing, what would it be? Would it be film?
Probably, because that's the only other thing that, gives me the same high, because, performing, that's basically what it boils down to, whether it's being on stage doing music or being at a premiere and, seeing people's reaction. That's what I live for. That's what I do it for. So probably film.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a good thing. I mean, you're already doing it. You're already, having some success with it. So I would say stick with that, and crush it if you were put in that predicament, obviously, and you had to, put all that energy. I don't know what the hell I would do. I always think of that question myself. I ask a lot of guests that, and I'm like, I honestly have no idea what I would do with all that time back. Probably, it sounds crazy. I'd probably relax like a motherfucker, because for the last 19 years, it's been nonstop every day on the go because I won't allow myself to shut down and take a break. So I'm thinking,
for sure.
If I had all that time back, I'm not moving.
Right. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like to be a boring person. Like, that would be nice.
Right. Wouldn't that be crazy? Like, I could just go home from work, watch TV with my wife, have no plans to do anything, no plans to go anywhere, wake up, go to work, come home, just sit on the couch and watch TV again, never worrying about a deadline, never worrying about the next song, the next concert, what the fans are going to think, what they're not going to think. None of it. Just sit on my fucking ass after work until I got to go to work again. I mean, it sounds boring, but it almost sounds pretty fucking appealing to me in a way as well. I'm like, that sounds like a nice life that I'll probably never get to know.
Right. But, I wouldn't trade the panic and the unstable nights laying up at night thinking, well, what did I forget to do today? Like, I wouldn't trade that for anything.
No, I wouldn't either. It keeps me going. That's why people say, why do you do so much? I'm like, I have to be on the go constantly. Like, if I'm sitting here and I feel that I have nothing else to promote, push, market, come out with, something's wrong. If that thought ever hits me, then there's something severely wrong, because there's never is. I finished 35 items and I got 70 to do, and I'm like, holy fuck, I got 70 to do. I don't even take the time to really appreciate sometimes, the fact that I just carved out 35. I'm looking like, oh, there's 70 more. But lately I've kind of flipped coin on that, and I've been taking time to step back, look at myself and say, wow, man, you accomplished a lot today. Now let's accomplish twice as much tomorrow. So I still have that same drive, but I take time to reward myself, because it got to a point where I'm like, I never would be impressed with the things that I've done and always focus on what I needed to do. Now I kind of get that even balance. I think that's important.
Yeah. And here's the thing, man, like I use it to also counteract my mental, I don't like to call them disabilities, but my mental abilities. Because here's the thing, like at the end of the year, like I'll just share a personal story on some real shit. Like end of the year, everybody was posting their Spotify numbers, and they're all up in the thousands and yada yada and all that. And then I look at mine and I'm like, well, what the fuck? What am I doing wrong here? Mine is nowhere near. And so that began the whole cycle of mental shit that, I'm not good enough. I need to not, fuck it. What's the reason? And then I did sit back and I looked at all I accomplished last year. And, not everybody gets to share the road with somebody and play the Rainbow Room and fucking all the shit. And, not everybody has the support system of friends that I have and all that shit. So I've been trying to really, hindsight is 50-50 my life. And while I'm having some kind of breakdown, also remember, hey, you're okay. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Shit'll work out. So, I use this all to kind of keep myself in check.
We're never going to be where we want to be in most of the cases. I mean, if you are, then kudos to you. But, I mean, a lot of us I myself look at all I've done over the years, and I'm happy with that. But like I said, for a long time, I would just shake my head and say, how the fuck, kind of like you said, how the fuck are these people getting these numbers that I'm as talented as? What is going on? Like, what am I doing wrong? What am I, am I doing something I shouldn't be doing? Am I not doing something I should? I don't know what's going on here, and you'd be really hard on yourself. And it wasn't until the last year and a half ago that I changed mentality and realized, take that step back, look at it, and take time to be appreciative of what you've done, who you are, and still push yourself. And I noticed more results started happening, and things got even better. So I'm glad to hear that you're doing that as well, because it's easy for it to weigh on you. And I mean, I've seen some of those people's numbers as well. Funny thing is, I never looked mine up, and I don't even know how to, because I started to try to do it, but my music is put through Spotify through a central hub that puts it out on 65 different sites. So I couldn't figure out how to get in specifically to Spotify under my account to get it, and I could have probably searched for it, but ultimately at the end of the day, I didn't give a shit.
Right.
I'm one of those weirdos, like a lot of people would brag about that. Like, look, I got, 76,000 streams this year, and like, that's cool, but that doesn't change anything I'm doing as far as releasing music. That's a bragging right, and I don't need to brag to you how cool I am. I would rather just put out good fucking music and have you enjoy it. And there's nothing wrong for people that are, but like, I didn't care about that. I'm focused on the end game, not the short term. And it's it's cool for the people that are getting the numbers, but I don't think those numbers necessarily mean anything. Next week we have a very special guest on the show, someone that I'm very happy to be able to get a chance to kick it with, and that's Insane Poetry, a goddamn legend. And if you look at Insane Poetry, he's done very well for himself over the years. He's been in the game for over 30 years, but that man has not got the shine I feel that he deserves. He's done great things, but I mean, you look at him and you say, well, how is he not where the fuck Brother Lynch Hung is? I mean, Brother Lynch Hung's another amazing artist that I've listened to for roughly 30 years now, and one of my favorite horrorcore rappers of all time, but I put Insane Poetry right next to him as far as skills. Right. And, you know, there's no comparison of who's bigger, obviously. That's kind of where I feel those number games is. It's nice to have the numbers, but if you look back and you know that you got a loyal fan base, it's ride or die, hardcore motherfuckers, and they were touched by your music, then at the end of the day, I don't need 1 million fans. If I have 2,000, if I have 20,000, that's cool, because those people are true fans rather than just a bunch of people who, you know, bump my music.
Right. And I also got to remember sometimes that even though I have been doing this for 15 years now, this is my 15th anniversary, I just rebranded a year ago. So it's going to take a while for people to know who I am, even though I've put in the work and I've done all this shit. That's the whole part of rebranding. So
it is. It's tough. It's starting all over again, wiping the slate clean and building up from that again, which you have more momentum than you had starting out the first time, but you still have to build up steam to really get that momentum going.
Right.
Now, why don't you tell the fans who, you know, what the rebranding was about and, you know, who you were prior to that, so if they don't know about you and you're new to you, they understand that.
Sure, man. I back in 2005, I picked the alias Two-Face because, you know, I've always been interested in the dualism of humanity and you know, yada yada, Batman, yada yada. And so Southeast Devastation was the first group I ever did, and, you know, we started off just as a joke doing house parties and stuff. Well, the house parties turned into 100 people in a 1-bedroom apartment partying, then it turned into breaking door records at clubs in the area, and then it turned into you know, me going solo and working with Blood and Guts Entertainment down in Tampa, and, you know, doing shows with some of the legends of Florida like Psycho Jesus, and then Miss Kisa came along and D-Murder, and you know, so it was building and building. And then after my mom died, I kind of took off a little while, and I just really didn't feel like I was that same person anymore. Two-Face was a druggy, always party, womanizer, constantly sleeping with people and doing whatever, and I just did not like who I was back then. And so not only did I rebrand the music, I rebranded my whole life. So that's just kind of the short end of how it happened.
It's like the spiritual awakening of sorts, that you had to kind of wipe the slate clean, cut the ties of anything that binded you from the past, and start anew. And when you do that, amazing things can happen because you go at it with a clear mind. As I said, you've learned from things in the past, but you're not holding those things in the past still against you.
Right, and at the end of the day, I can look myself in the mirror and say, you know, there is no separation between D.E.A.N and Two-Face. You're just D.E.A.N, and that's what it is.
I agree 100%. That's some deep shit. Well, why don't we jump in before we get too much further, because we're going to be wrapping up here soon, and I want to make sure we get time to play your other track. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Losers Club, and we're going to jump into that.
All right. Well, Losers Club is the first single off of Southern Gothic with 2 C's that is coming out in February. And it's basically a love song to the Army of the Heartless, all my fans, my friends, my family. And it's just a fun track, but it has a deep meaning to it. So this one's for all you guys.
All right, here you go, folks. Losers Club by D.E.A.N. We'll be right back on Uncovering the Underground.
I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? We're the Losers Club, they said we never be shit. Is anyone really? My mindset is fuck it. We're the Losers Club, I don't need your clout. I got my army of the heartless, baby. intentions. Till death do us part. I don't give a fuck about you lame chumps. I got love from day one. Yo, bitch, give me your honey buns. My homies did them money runs, but I'm over that. I'm molding out, my shoulders up and chest out. You can't knock me, I'm too proud. You stay quiet, I'll be loud. I'm making movies and touring with Team She in the Hollywood Hills with Luna 13. You say that ain't success, bitch, suck me with both lips. Stay in your lane, do what you know, that's a pro tip. We're the Losers Club, they said we never be shit. Is anyone really? My mindset is fuck it. We're the Losers Club, I don't need your clout. I got my army of the heartless, bitch, you know what I'm about. We're the Losers Club, they said we never be shit. Is anyone really? My mindset is fuck it. We're the Losers Club, I don't need your clout. I got my army of the heartless, bitch, you know what I'm about. Yeah, I'm in a trailer park. Yeah, I sold shit after dark. Yeah, I've had a broken heart. Yeah, I've maxed out all my cards, but I be living that good life. Belly fat with a hot wife. Seeing the world one show at a time. Ain't no time to slow stride. I'm a shit show, but I live in the moment. Make you drip slow if you say that you want it. But I keep out that drama scene. My real fan be drama free. We smoke and chase those paper trails and don't let no shit bother me. All them teachers said I wouldn't be nada. They said that I'm a no one, so don't even bother. All them bullies talking shit when I was in school, bruh. Where you at now when your wife's in my pool, bruh? We're the Losers Club, they said we never be shit. Is anyone really? My mindset is fuck it. We're the Losers Club, I don't need your clout. I got my army of the heartless, bitch, you know what I'm about. We're the Losers Club, they said we never be shit. Is anyone really? My mindset is fuck it. We're the Losers Club, I don't need your clout. I got my army of the heartless, bitch, you know what I'm about.
And that was Losers Club by D.E.A.N. Destiny, Everything, and Nothing. His return appearance on the show, he was on in early 2019. He's back again for early 2020. We've been with him the last hour and 19 minutes talking over his past releases, what's going on presently, and all the future releases, both with his music and short film. We've talked over beliefs. We've talked over conspiracy theory. We've talked over a lot of different subject matter tonight. And we've also talked about spiritually reawakening and aiming your directions clearer than the first time around, seeing better results. So if you've missed any of that, make sure you go back and listen to the episode after this live one is done, because right now it's live. You can't rewind it. But after 10:30, you can certainly go back and listen to it again from the start, or any of our past episodes with any of the other great artists that we brought on the show. As I said, go to www.teambrutalbusiness.com for all updates of what's going on with our team here and everything that we're releasing. And then we still have a little bit of time left in the show, so if you are still with us, please leave a comment, ask our guests some questions in the last few minutes that we have here, and you can do that through Spreaker.com or through the Spreaker app. And like I said, just make sure you're catching up with everything that we're putting out here on the show and coming up. Dean, why don't you tell us, finish this out with who you would like to thank, where we can check all of your sites and merch out, and then I'll let them know what we got coming up in the next couple weeks on the show.
Absolutely. As far as thanks goes, like I said, thank you to everybody that gives me a listen or a watch. It means the world. Thank you to my wife. She's amazing. I don't know how she puts up with me sometimes. Thank you to, everybody that, as an artist that donates your time on tracks or tours or whatnot. Thank you so much. And the store is actually down right now until we release the Army of the Heartless merch and the new album. But you'll be able to hit me up. Hit me up on my personal page, because I love talking to people. I love getting to know my fans. So Dean Ray is my page. You can hit me up on Destiny, Everything, and Nothing. Autumndale, the series page on Facebook. My Instagram is @AutumndaleBSE. I always drop some stuff on there that, you might not get to see on my Facebook. So those are the main two places. But and YouTube, you can add my whole channel, Autumndale BSE or Autumndale Series, and you'll be able to watch all my movies and music videos and all that happy horse shit.
Well, you heard it, folks. Make sure you check it all out. Definitely listen to all the albums, all the music. Keep an eye peeled for everything that's coming up in the near future. Check out all the stories from Autumndale that he has put out, because dude has some great fucking content and context that he's putting out there, and I'm always very, very impressed by it. I know you will be as well, so please support him. It's what keeps him going. It's what will keep him going. He has a lot more to do. He's one of the guests that I always, whenever I do type up the write-up for it, I mention how impressed I am about how much content he's able to put out. So allow him to keep on doing that by supporting him and showing him some love. Now, last question. And if you had to pick, I like the if you had to pick questions. It's always nice to give you some thinking questions. If you had to pick of living your own way, living however you wanted, never caring about the repercussions, never caring about any of that, but find out afterwards that there truly is a God, he has judged you, and now you're going to pay for it for eternity, or would you rather pray your whole life, live the way that you're told you need to live, and then die and find out there is nothing, and you did it all for nothing?
I would always rather be a prisoner in hell than a service chump in heaven. I think, if I have to replay agonizing shit throughout my whole life, whatever, it'll just be like I never died. But if I have to go to heaven and work for some asshole that is jealous and spiteful for the rest of my life, I'd rather just go to hell.
I hear you, brother. I figured that would be the answer. That would be my answer as well. So, once again, had to throw the spiritual one in there because we're on the same wavelength of belief. So that's great. Well, listen, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. Every time hearing about what you do is always a pleasure. For the folks that are listening out there, we do have some great content coming up. Let me go ahead here and pull up the calendar of the show. All right. I would just tell you off by heart, which I usually do, but this time it is a little hard because we have a lot coming up in January. We have on the 7th, which will be Tuesday of this week, Uncovering the Underground with Jana Lee Machika, who is the owner of First Angel Media. We will be announcing talking about, because I'll announce it now, the partnership of our companies, what that means to you, what that means to us. Some very, very big things in the works. So that'll be happening Tuesday. Make sure you check out who they are and the big things happening with Brutal Business coming up. The following night on the 8th, we do have Brian Genovese, an acoustic artist, just mind-blowing on the acoustic side, a singer and acoustic guitar player. Love his stuff. He has hundreds of videos out at this point. You can jump on and listen to his music. I mean, he just posts videos of him sitting and playing, and it's phenomenal, his talent at the guitar and singing. So his new album drops later this week. On the 9th, we have underground, hardcore, horrorcore, rap legend, Insane Poetry on the show. The 16th, we have Rhode Island MC Rob Trey. On the 22nd, Colorado death metal grindcore band Angelic Desolation. The 23rd, we got the dynamic rap duo of Isolated Beings on the show. And on the 30th, the Indiana State Heavyweights Mantra of Morta. So we got some great talent coming to you the rest of the month. Make sure you check out those episodes. Hit that like, share, and follow button. As I said, it helps us grow, helps us get more fans, and we still have so much more on the way for you guys. We appreciate you tuning in each and every week, and we appreciate you being on the show tonight, Dean. We'll catch you next time, homie.
Absolutely, man. 1st of 2021, I'll be here.
Absolutely. Let's get it. We'll see you next time, folks. Take care.